have a different shot clock person today.
We do.
Fibberger, shot goes wide of the net. D'Amiglio trying to play it towards the net. James Barr grabs it for the Sting. Van Volsen, the former Steelhead, moves it up to center ice. Fibberger back on the left wing side, goes off the stick of Witkowski and into the zone. Van Volsen on it again. Getting tied up there. Witkowski trying to take the feed from D'Amiglio. Barr. Sting try the right wing side, dumped out there by Edwards. Van Volsen looking for it. Von Richter has him tied up. And 20 minutes and 34 seconds coming into this one without a goal. But emphasize regulation time. Van Volsen got it back over the line. Edwards can't control the bouncing puck. Edwards, Van Volsen, and Pickle making up the line here for the Sting. Back underway here. Edwards tries to move it out. Von Richter with the hit there. Pickle gets it just over the line. Von Richter moves it back in. Here's Pickle. Overage forward for the Sting. Got it to center ice. Look out.
Our perch.
Fibberger. Cut off there along that far side was Witkowski, but was still able to get it to center. Quinlan waits for it. Forehand to the backhand. Now back to the forehand. He's able to get it into that corner. Lots of pressure there. Von Richter stops it. Shot towards the front of the net. Witkowski was looking for the deflection. Van Volsen. Pickle trying to set up Van Volsen again. Broken up by Fibberger. Reese tried to play it, poke past him. Amato breaks up. Amato, shot goes wide of the net. Fibberger on it. Manuel Amato once again, but this time it bounced over his stick. Now a shot kicked out smartly there off the stick of Stankoven. Sting not able to clear it. Reese gives chase. He'll chip it off the boards, clears it down the ice. A little too much on that. Hagelton got tied up there. Avery dropped it off at the line. Shot taken by Green, goes wide. Van Volsen wanted to send Pickle through. Right off the draw, cleared. Little bouncer that Quinlan had to be careful with. Edwards starts out of his own zone. Back check there by Zaveski. Now Edwards trying to get around Fibberger. Slowed down enough. The Steelheads are able to clear it. Fisher to his own blue line towards the red. Now he drops it off to Edwards. Giving to Ryan Brown. Long cross ice feed. Van Volsen looking for it. Van Volsen and Fibberger tied up. Former teammates with the Steelheads. Everybody leaning on each other behind the Brampton net. Fibberger skates it out himself, the Seattle Kraken draft choice. Fibberger came into this one fifth most shots on goal by a defenseman in the Ontario Hockey League this season. So we knew the offense was going to go through him, including their 5-on-5, and he ties the game with his fifth goal of the campaign, 13th point. Slightly more selective, but still gets those shots through is very important as well.
Well, nice play by Van Richter as well to kind of identify that he was open, got on the puck, and the rest of it, as they say, is history.
Now Steelheads back here. Sherratt drops it into the middle. Another chance. This one by Zabeski goes go in period number 1. Dumped into the Sarnia zone. Edwards. Move towards the blue line. Kicked out. Von Richter and Pickle getting all tangled up. We've got one of their Steelheads players, Sherratt, was still battling along that far side. Von Richter plays it up to Sherratt, who dumps it into the Sarnia zone. Minute and a half to go here in the opening period, in front of what they have announced as 3,711 here in Sarnia. Eggleton dumps it back into the zone. Edwards up to Van Volsen. Barr chops it through the neutral zone. Cartwright looking for it right in front of his own bench, starts back out. Avery calling for it. Avery trying to find it off the near boards. He couldn't. Cartwright jumps on it. He and Van Volsen get tangled up. Van Volsen gives to Young. Young walks in with a chance, put it off a leg wide of the net. Going into the second intermission and then turn it on in the third period. I remember, Captain Nolan Dillingham saying in a second intermission interview, we have to be better in the third. And then they would come out flying in the third. They were just that good they could recover. David Green gets to center ice. As I mentioned earlier, Green, originally a draft pick of the Sarnia Sting, did not sign with the...
Well, was not very productive, and lately it's been on fire again.
Edwards right off the draw got a shot that Bowen steered away. Swiatkowski for the trip, Van Volsen on it. Fisher backhands it down low, back scoops it up. Backs gives to Brown. Brown looked to go back to Fisher, it went off a stick. And the Sting captain regroups. Dominglio on him. Edwards leaves for Van Volsen. Looks to get it back into Edwards. He does. Edwards from the bad angle with a chance. And holding on to the short side on his glove side was Bowen. Once again, Fisher. Go to center. Drop back. Edwards has Wallows on his left. Made a move at the line. And that draw to the right of Quinlan. Picked up by Cameron Aucoin. Edwards had Pickle going to the front of the net. Edwards stays with it, centering feed out in front for Van Volsen, who couldn't bury it. Botno moved it up to center ice. Carrying it back in was Edwards, just poked off his stick by Green. Witkowski, or make that Botno. Gives to Green. Green tries to get it through center ice, was looking for Eggleton. Tried to spring him through center ice, didn't grab it, was able to negate the icing though. Pickle. Plays it on the left, gets to Van Volsen. Van Volsen with a shot up high. Bowen makes the stop, then Bowen actually knocked down by Botno.
Number 2 player run the number 1 play, and I'm assuming that's what that is.
Here's Young. Young walking in with a chance, puts it wide of the net. Bowen tries to pounce on the rebound. Sting looked to keep it in, not able to do so. Next thing you know, we'll have a coach with a headset, and we'll have one of their players on the ice with an earpiece. As Edwards puts it wide, like a quarterback getting signals from the coach.
Exactly. Or pitch comm, that sort of thing, right?
That would be the next thing. That's when you hit the wrong button, though, and doesn't make any sense. Edwards has room, lets the shot go. Bowen
for his arm as well, and that's Edwards. Edwards just kind of sneaks out of the corner, just kind of la-di-da, goes to the middle of the ice, realizes there's nobody on him, lets the quick shot go, and then Bowen has the puck in his mid. I presume Beamish will get one of the assists, but we'll wait for the assist because we've been wrong before.
Don't count your assists before they've had. But yeah, actually, they have put that up. Beamish and Kamzik. Fisher. Here's Edwards. Lifted out, Zapaski looking for it. Here's Green. Zapaski got it to center ice. Sherratt Play it off the boards, and as Romaine goes back after it.
Second OHL game.
Now another shot tipped in front of the net. Bowen had to adjust on that one. Bowen makes the stop off Romaine.
Yeah, couldn't really see that clearly, but hopefully he's all right.
Here's Young. Van Volson looking towards Edwards. Green steps up. All tied up along that far side. Referee Mac Nickel telling him to keep moving it. Nickel represented the OHL at the most recent Memorial Cup out in Rimouski. Here's Edwards. Edwards with a shot kicked out by Bowen. The OHL at the end of the year, at the end of the playoffs, chooses the top referee to advance the Memorial Cup, and Nickel did that. Young, indeed, looked like the play was onside, and the Steelheads have tied the game 3 apiece.
If they were going to challenge, I think they just ran out of time.
Yeah, I think they were given some time, ran out, and now the puck is dropped, so away they go. And another chance and another goal. Parker Von Richter. This little pressure there, and it rolled off his stick. Quinlan leaves it. A coin, 2 Steelheads around him. Van Volson ran into Fisher, now opens up some room. A coin, plays it off the boards, looking for Pickle, but the Sting telegraphed that and was broken up by Green. Carried back in here by Avery, gets it to the front of the net. That's stopped by Quinlan, rebound at the side of the net.
Kingston next Thursday, Friday, and a late Sunday afternoon game, 4 o'clock in Kingston a week from Sunday.
Just what the Sting wanted, get home even 2 hours later from the road trip.
Yeah.
For years, it seemed like the Sting would do that trip on Super Bowl weekend. So they'd come home as the Super Bowl was happening from Kingston, but now it'll be a November trip.
That game Thursday, the first of 5 in a row on the road, as the Sting play the following weekend on the road as well for a couple of games.
Van Volson and
at 4.
So it's a tie hockey game as Edwards leaned on by Von Richter. Pickle, give chase, Miglio on it. Pickle sends it cross ice. Drop back, Pickle shot, knocked down again. That's center ice now into the zone. Miglio's shot goes wide of goaltender Quinlan. Fibberger, shot goes wide of the net. Von Richter grabs the rebound off the boards, gives to Fibberger. He lets the shot go, a hard, heavy bump by Sherratt into Kamzik. Kamzik drops it off. Pickle trying to race in there. He and Cartwright get all tangled up. Zabeski. Once again, made sure to gain the red line. Young. Witkowski stops it at center ice, winds it back into the zone. Hands it off. Richmond's shot was blocked. Witkowski back into the zone again. I feel like we've not seen a lot of Witkowski in Richmond in this hockey game, especially the second half of the game. Fibberger, we've seen a lot of him tonight. He logs a lot of ice time, especially here in this tie hockey game, he and Von Richter. The number 1 defense pair. Now 3-on-3 on the ice. Van Volson and Patton lean in. Wins it back to Fibberger. Sherratt, Patton goes off. Sebeski jumps on the ice. Edwards, Van Volsen, and Young for the Sting. Sting looking to get possession. Fibberger has it up top. He'll regroup. Back inside his own line. 3-on-3, man on man. Van Volsen watching Fibberger. 3 wide come the Steelheads. Fibberger trying to race right to the front of the net. He was taken. Young walks back in here. Young hands it off. Chance there by Edwards. Goes off a stick wide of the net. Barr. Edwards had it on his skate. Decides to come back and wind it back up from his own line. Here comes Beckham Edwards. Sting leading goal scorer. Edwards holds. We are officially still 4-on-4 on the ice because the penalty expired. We haven't had a whistle since. Fisher centers in front of the net. Pickle got a piece of it, but just couldn't get a shot. Sebeski. Fibberger sneaking in from the point. Goes to the net. Drop back out here. Von Richter in the middle. Fibberger's shot just wide of the net. A coin. Carries it back out. A dozen seconds to go in overtime.